recording. Coolio. Right. So I did my paper over the connections between fast fashion, labor exploitation, and the environmental degradation, looked at through a Marxist lens. So, a little bit of background. There is the current economic system that we live in, which is capitalism, where the value of the good is the assigned market value. So that could look like, so for example, eggs. They're normally pretty abundant and cheap, but if you have a bird flu that kills 500,000 chickens, then eggs will be more expensive because they're more scarce. Whereas Marxism, the value of the good only equals the labor plus the cost of materials. So it doesn't matter how scarce or valuable a resource is. So take a shirt. If the labor costs $20 an hour and the materials cost $10, and it takes 1 hour to make a shirt, that shirt would cost $30. And then we can look at the relationship between environmental degradation and labor exploitation. Capitalism's end goal is increased efficiency, which leads to exploitation of common resources. So basically, the more the capitalist system produces, the bigger the burden is on commons resources. We can also look at it from a just sustainability lens, which is a different approach that requires global equity, whereas capitalism requires exploitation of labor. You can also look at it from a triple bottom line approach, but first looking at the wicked problem justification. So fast fashion is not solvable with one solution. There's also no stopping rule because materials can be made of many different elements, especially things like oil. Solutions are highly debated because there's so many stakeholders included in the system. And solutions are often one shot because they require huge changes like overhauls of entire economic systems. Capitalism also only rewards profit. It ignores people and planet, which means that exploitation of commons resources and environmental degradation will only continue to worsen if capitalism as an economic system is not addressed. So, what would it look like if fast fashion used a triple bottom line approach? Well, it would look like Marxism because Marxism uses a people, planet, profit approach, which is one of the solutions. So, using a triple bottom line approach looks like two things: changing the capitalist system through consumer changes and through coercive legal measures. So, incorporating consumer movements such as mass consumer changes to not purchasing fast fashion and choosing to do things like go to a thrift store or purchase secondhand. And then also the coercive legal measures to go along with that will help limit the capitalist economy. And the coercive legal measures could look like resource distribution systems and also a carbon cap and trade system that would basically progressively tax a corporation based on how much carbon they emit, and also give them a certain amount of allocated resources. It could also look like legal guardrails, so forcing corporations to adhere to certain labor standards. But the issue with that is that it would only work if it was implemented in every developing nation at the same time with the same laws and enforced at the same standard, which is unfortunately not available to happen right now because a lot of these developing nations don't have the legal apparatus free of corruption to actually enforce these laws. Vietnam is a great example of this because currently they're one of the top fast fashion industries in the world. And Dung and Ha actually found that they have no legal apparatus affecting corporations, so they're actually just free to do whatever they want to do. And then here are my references.